Okay. All right, I think we're ready. Okay. I'm not sure what happens, but I guess we'll know when we're on Facebook. Do you all give a thumbs up when other people are actually watching us? They're watching us now? Oh, hi, everybody. That's so weird because you can't see them. Okay, wave. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
To all my soldiers, just bounce.
Lisa Left Eye Lopes, best known as part of the powerful female trio TLC.
You know, the music is so good.
Songs and everybody knows all the words.
And such a good message.
One actress is celebrating Lisa's life.
The super talented Clarice Hutchinson. Welcome, Donna.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. I mean, I cannot believe it.
Yo, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
To the Left is an entertaining and inspiring story of the spiritual journey of Lisa Nicole Lopes, also known as Left Eye. The bumping music and the fly, word up lingo, and the dances of the 80s and 90s, as well as the multimedia usage, help carry us through the play and transport the audience here to Honduras.
Gave Clarice a little challenge. She didn't know it was a test. Told her, it's like, well, if you want to do anything on Lisa, you need to come to Honduras. And to my surprise, she was down there, like a month later. She took a moment of her life to be able to experience some of the things that Lisa experienced, to be able to tell a truer story about Lisa.
To the Left has both the aching of an unfinished life and a life fully and boldly lived. Bittersweet, but the bitter is removed when we realize that where Lisa's journey ends, ours begins to be lived out more fully and boldly.
I'm realizing that I'm not here to change what people think of me. I'm here to change what people think of themselves.
I was just stunned by it. I could hear Lisa speaking like Clarice was speaking.
I felt like I was studying with Lisa.
Get up! No tears, no fears. Each never dies, transforms.
Yes, baby.
Yay! So that was excellent. Okay, welcome, everybody. Are we live? All right, so that was awesome. Great intro. So I just wanted to welcome everybody. Tonight on Facebook Live, we're here celebrating Lisa Left Eye's The Legacy, The Love. Today would have been her 50th birthday. So we're gonna all say happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Lisa! Woo, woo.
Yes.
Happy birthday!
I know, right? So this is gonna be just a little time with family, friends, some fans, and just spread some love and some I guess maybe feel some of Lisa's energy today. So we've got some guests in here, lots of guests. I'm Tara Burks. And I've been around, I guess, from the beginning of time with Clarice, who actually is the one-woman show for this To the Left play about the life and legacy of Lisa. And I enjoy helping out and helping to host and be here when she needs me. But we do have some other guests here. I wanted to kind of say hello to some of you we've got. And if I call your name and you're here, just, tell me tell everyone who you are and I think I see like Angie.
Yes.
Angie. Okay. Hey, Angie. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Angie Thomas. I'm the author of The Hate You Give, On the Come Up, and Concrete Rose. And I was and still am a huge Lisa fan.
All right. Good. That's what's up. So yeah, so you have your how has Lisa inspired you, or how do you feel connected? What are your thoughts about Lisa today?
Yeah, she inspired me so much. I named one of my characters in The Hate You Give after her. But just she inspired me now with the work that I do for young people. I write for teenagers. I write for kids, and what she did for me in my life, um, in a moment when I was at my lowest, and she spoke to me on the phone and encouraged me. I now try to carry that legacy on with the young people that I encounter every single day. I'm open with them about mental health. I'm open with them about using their voice and speaking up and speaking out, but more importantly, about being their true, authentic selves, because those are the seeds that Lisa planted in me. So I just try to carry on that legacy in the best way that I can.
Amazing, and you're doing an awesome job doing that. So that's great, and to give back and constantly give back. That's what it's about. So that's good. That's an awesome memory. Yeah. Okay, I think we've got a few other people in here, but I just want to mention to the fans and the people that are watching live, after this moment here with all of the family and friends and the good time talking about Lisa, we'd like you to stream live. We have the To the Left play. If you go to totheleft.com anytime during this, well, not during this, but after this, and you'll get to watch the play. That's a tribute to her life. It's an awesome one-woman play written by Carice. And I think you'll enjoy that. But moving on, we do have a few other great folks in here. Let's see. How about we got Stephanie? Stephanie, hey, tell everybody a little bit about who you are and how. What's your thoughts about Lisa today, and maybe some of a lesson or something that stuck with you as long as one lesson. I'm sure we've got multiple, right?
That's so difficult.
Oh no.
My name is Stephanie. I was Lisa's assistant. The last couple years she was with us. It's so difficult. Jack could probably attest to this, and Carice also. But it's so difficult for me to remember things because things were such a whirlwind when we were working together. It was just nonstop from morning to night, and it's just all a blur to me. But she was just amazing. I have never met anything like anyone like Lisa ever before in my life. There's so much that she taught me. It's difficult to articulate one particular thing. I think it's more of just a way you see life, and being present in every moment and meeting your full potential instead of just being happy with status quo. You know, she was never happy with status quo. I've always been happy with status quo, but she kind of got me out of that frame of thinking. I think it's been a joy to me, post Lisa, just to be a help to her family and to different people that are trying to continue her legacy, like Carice. I feel blessed to be able to contribute some things to her to help her put the pieces together and have some accurate historical information and things like that. So I think that's a key role that I'm able to play now, from the beginning of sorting out her estate to one-off tributes to books, to stories, to TV shows, and all of those kinds of things, because there's so much false information or assumed information out there, and it just burns me up because it's not accurate. And she was so serious about being authentic and truthful, and those things out there that aren't accurate, it bugs the hell out of me. So I'm happy to lend in that way. She's just, I feel like she's still here. Even though she's not physically here, I'm constantly thinking of things she would say, or how she would steer me in one direction, or tell me to stay away from this because of whatever reason. And I just still feel like she's here, and she's got that resonating effect on, I think, all of us here.
Right. Absolutely. I think everyone can kind of attest to that. I think she still is definitely present in a lot of our lives. So so thank you so much for sharing that with us. I heard someone, I think it might have been Jay, maybe a fan, but someone earlier said that there is no Lisa without Mr. Ian Burke. So
Yes.
Let's hear something from the man himself and share with share with the fans who you are, and and then after you tell a little bit about who you are and how you contribute here, tell us what you think Lisa would be doing if she were here today.
So before Ian gets started, everybody pay attention for the accurate historical accounting.
There we go.
Well, listen, Rico was in the frame. I know he's on the call. He put the crazy sexy.
Oh yeah, we gotta get Rico in here. Okay.
He's got, I don't know where he disappeared to, but Rico Wade was the one. Rico Wade from Organized Noise was the one who introduced me to Lisa QT Lopes, as she was known back then.
Okay.
And
there he is.
Okay.
Okay, he's in there.
What you got to say, Rico?
Gotta unmute.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Yeah, get a.
We can't hear you, Rico.
Okay, now you can hear me.
There we go. All right, welcome, Rico.
Hey, Rico.
Hey, Clarice. So first I'm gonna say happy birthday to Lisa. You know what I'm saying? It's a 50th. I didn't realize it was a 50th birthday because I turn 50 next year. But I'm glad that I haven't. I seen the play when you originally did it. I look forward to seeing it again. But Lisa was just yes, she is still here because her spirit and the way she is, she's such a giving. You know what I'm saying? Like I can. It's almost hard to believe when she moved here from Philadelphia, she didn't have any family, you know what I'm saying, like type of stuff. And as soon as she got her first royalty or her own separation money, because, she was a writer from day one, where I love Tion and I love Chili, but Tion was my best friend. But Dallas was writing most of the songs, most of the singing parts on their earlier stuff. But she always had to write her lyrics because she was rapping and nobody could rap better than her. So when she first started getting some of her early royalties, I remember her just kind of what we have with the Dungeon when you got Andre. Matter of fact, today's Andre 3000 birthday as well. And
oh wow.
So what we have with the Dungeon with all these guys just kind of living at the same place, Lisa created for her own self in wherever she was staying. At that time, she might have been staying in some apartments off Windy Hill or something, but she had the group Drip Drop. She had like this other Genesee Quad. She had Poon Daddy, who ended up being on the radio, who ended up being Ludacris or whatever. She was just helping all these people all the time. Then come to find out she adopted these other kids and stuff. She was just such a and I'm a strong believer of being able to put people before you. And that's kind of how we started Dungeon Family, because Organized Noise put Outkast and Goody Mob in front of us because we felt like y'all young and we want to be ahead of the curve. And Lisa was always trying to set up trying to help keep the dreams alive for people or whatever. So man, I'm always honor and respect that. That's when I was walking through my house, I was kind of showing y'all some posters on the wall because my partner, Marquez, he wrote Waterfalls. He got Lisa pictures up it looked like a damn shrine. I was like, God, I love her too, Quez, but damn. but she was trained with classical piano. I don't know if anybody's ever got a chance to see her play piano.
Wow.
Classic, like Beethoven type stuff.
Did not know that.
Yeah, she did it on the Famo tour.
Yeah. Oh, she did do it?
On the Famo tour.
Wow.
She sure did.
Wow, because the last time I saw them was on tour was their very first tour with MC Hammer. And when they was opening up for Hammer, and I was like, man, y'all, they had to dance so hard every damn night because Hammer had that's when Hammer had the production that supposedly, when he was spending too much money, when he brought the whole opening on the road, TLC was on that tour. They was opening it up for Hammer, and I was like, this is gonna make or break them because people don't either not care about them because Hammer going so hard, but them girls came out with that Atlanta swag, with them doing them steps and hitting it, and that's when we found out Tion had sickle cells really because they was going too hard because Hammer tour was probably like every other night. They had probably over 100 some dates. But yes, man, Lisa is most definitely missed, man. She's more missed than anybody.
What's up? Mr. Burke, you want to add anything to that, or you good?
Oh well, no, I mean, we Rico kind of covered it, you know what I'm saying? I'm very thankful, that he introduced me. Like I said earlier in our earlier conversations, it's such a remarkable thing to see all the people's lives that were touched by what she did and by her spirit. And I just feel like that's amazing because, who knew? Who knew? Like I said earlier, like she almost didn't make the cut. Rico, no.
Yeah.
She almost didn't make the cut. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
But it's also the fact that, like, fortunately, she did make the cut because she really ended up making the group because she was the only real hip hop, straight up. Like she was hip hop, like she was rap, like she was legit. She was from the East Coast. She was Philadelphia. She could rap for real. Like she could get at them, and she loved music already. So Ian's vision of TLC, of the group, which like a female version of what BBD was, like it wouldn't have been mentally hip and cool if it wasn't for Lisa. Lisa brought in she the one who wanted to put the condoms on the head. Now for real, she was going hard. It was like, what? It's coming from Pebbles, coming from a straight R&B person. That's about some ain't too proud to bed. I'm like, what? These three perfect little angel looking ass girl. Lisa put the edge on it. She put the edge on it. And during the time when Naughty by Nature they was about to blow up. So it was like, and not to get like, because this neither here nor there, but every rapper, you know how you got the Cardi B's and you got the Nicki Minaj, you got the whoever Megan Thee Stallion. Every hot rapper, Tupac, Trent, anybody who was hot wanted Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Like that's why I had to stop loving her early, because you're gonna get hurt. Like the hottest rapper wanted Left Eye Lopes, like because she could rap. You know what I'm saying? Like she was an amazing, and then her spirit, man, she's such a free loving person, man. She's a Gemini, so I know Geminis, and I never really saw that because Andre and CeeLo are Geminis as well. So I see them in the light of just being really creative people, being real creative, and people you don't want to go against when it comes to their creativity. Kind of like support them and ride with them or whatever. And because when I met Lisa, her name was QT.
She was a cutie.
No, and remember that was her name. It was QT. that was her rap name. That was her rap name, QT. And she had on, and first of all, Left Eye had to hide. When TLC came out with them baggy clothes, they were just trying to hide how fine Lisa was. They was like, it's like this is ridiculous. She could go solo then. Lisa was like, man, Lisa was great. Lisa was great, man. It's sad when they took Lisa away, and like, and then when I watched the movie she put out that time when I saw the whole story about, it still is gonna be things they're gonna do about her because she's such a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I spoke to Ian at his they was filming his life story or whatever, his biopic or whatever. He was telling me stories about when I thought Lisa disappeared, when nobody could find her. Then when Ian tells me that was something that they had planned. I was like, man, that's that Gemini. God damn it. That's that Gemini.
That was actually, Ian, if you remember, that was my first week of work with her. And Ian left town and was like, Stephanie, you have one job. Make sure she gets on the plane. That's your only job. So I get there in the morning. She's bringing down her luggage. I got the car out there waiting. And she's like, okay, Stephanie, yeah, I'm not going. What? Yeah, me and Sean are gonna go someplace else. I was like, Ian's gonna kill me. Yeah, just tell Ian that you didn't know anything about it and I'm gone. And I had to call you and tell you that. He's like, what the hell? I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna fire me on day one.
It She was supposed to get it. You were supposed to get it to the Mobile Awards.
Yes, in London, right?
No, that was the trip in Vegas. She was promoting it
Vegas.
in Vegas. Yeah, she was supposed to go to Vegas, and she didn't get on the plane. Stephanie.
I had one job.
Oh wow, seeing the memories.
No, but I also want to say, like, once again, it's the things that touch, like Angela, like I'm just meeting you, and I must say I saw the film. My boy was in the movie. I'm saying he's my boy, but the one who got killed.
Gotcha. Algie.
That's why I worked with Algie when he was young as well. And I saw the movie, and I was a big fan of the movie. But just hearing your story earlier about how she affected you, how waterfalls actually saved your life. And see, Rico, you weren't here when she said that. Like, she was suicidal, and she heard Waterfalls, which you produced, you and Organized Noise, Restaurant Organized Noise, and Marquez Etheridge wrote. And that turned her life around. And her mom, see, I pay attention to all this. Her mom felt that if the lyrics of that actual song, and it wasn't the whole song, it was her rap. Am I right, Angela?
Yes.
It was rap. If that helped change things a bit, imagine what it would be if she actually spoke to her. So her mom made a mission to reach out to the office. Stephanie was a huge help with that, and put her on the phone with Lisa, and her life turned around. Now she's got one book that was turned into a movie, you know what I'm saying, and working on her second book that's going to be a movie.
Wow.
So,
and I'm producing that one, so.
Wow.
That's all due to inspiration. If it wasn't for that particular record, who knows? You know what I'm saying? It trickles down. And the same thing with Carisha, right? That's when I say she can't nod at me. You know, and I haven't seen the play. Am I saying it correctly?
It's Carisha.
It's Carisha, right? Stephanie has been on me about coming to the play.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do the Instagram live at the same time, guys, but I can hear everything you're saying. I can hear you pronounce my name wrong, but it's okay.
Right. So, you know, they were trying to get me to the show, and I haven't been able to see it, but I'm definitely
got to check that out. Yeah.
But it's the fact that she was inspired to put together a one-woman show based upon this woman's life. You know what I'm saying? All I could do is just be like, wow.
And wait till you see it. You're gonna be like, wow.
Right. And Brandy being real quiet. Brandy.
Brandy, I'm coming. I was just about to bring Brandy into this conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna let you bring her in. Go ahead.
Yeah, come on in here, Brandy.
Hi, everybody. I'm just listening. Look,
Hi, Brandy.
Hi, guys. I am just, overwhelmed. I can't believe, she would have been 50 today. Hey. It's just good. Lisa, it's so funny. I was with Sophia, who was a part of her other girl group, Egypt, earlier today.
Oh, wow.
And we were talking about how Lisa kind of just put a family together and was like, all right, y'all good, I'm out. Like, we're still family after all this time. Like, it's been, for people that don't know, I'm 1/3 of Black, which was Lisa's group, girl group that, she put together, and we were able to, be successful and have a amazing career, and thanks to her. And she was so much more than just, a music mentor to us. She was our mommy Martian, we called her. She was our auntie, our mommy Martian, our sister, our everything. And we were family, we're still family, like Ian is family. Ian's been knowing me since how old? Like what? I was 12?
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it's been a long time. And we're still a family. I love all of you guys. I'm so thankful that we are still family and we're able to do this for her and honor her at every turn. And I'm just blessed to, you know, be able to call her family. It's really, really amazing. So that's all. That's my piece.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
Jordan, where are you, Jordan? Can I see Jordan in here? Let's bring Jordan in. He has some
How you doing?
hey, Jordan. Okay.
What's going
So
on?
listen, so tell everybody, Mr. Jordan, tell everybody, and then we'll do maybe some fan, maybe have a fan question or two, but you know, share some experience, share your vibe and your feelings and everything about Lisa today.
Well, hi, my name is Aquariosa Jordan to some people, but I am also The Eye is Right on Instagram and Facebook. So basically, Lisa, like I have a very big and deep love for Lisa. Like the first time I ever noticed her was when those Scrubs came out in '99. I was how old? I was 6 years old. Video came out.
No Scrub video.
That was
No Scrubs video. Like I watched it and I was just so like entranced because I love animation and I still love animation, but that really reeled me in. I was like, wow, she's amazing. But I still wasn't big on music at that time, but it wasn't unfortunately after she passed away. And I watched Are You the Girl? And I watched Lads of the Left Eye. Lads of the Left Eye is what really set me over the edge. Like I was in need of something different. I was so engraved in what's surface level, type of music and movies and films, about murder, sex and stuff like that, which is fine. But at the point like 13, I needed something else more that fed my soul. And I watched it and I was like, literally the day it aired. I watched it and I was like, my mind would not go back to wherever it was before. And I was like onto a whole new level.
Wow.
Like, it was just, I couldn't believe what I saw. And I just loved everything that she was telling me and teaching us, everything through the film. And I carry it with me, and I listened to Supernova, made me bigger of a fan, and I started studying her more and getting into the things that she's done and the things she said and the things that just a lot of things she provided material-wise for us, to feed off of and love and take with us on our daily.
Right.
And I just feel like there's a lot of that can still go around. So I really made sure I made the eyes right so people can see a lot of what she's done.
Right. And keep it in. So do you have a question for the fans? And it might be some fans that are tuned in on live. What's a question you might have for fans?
So we're actually doing
And you're doing, there she goes.
There
you go.
All right, so we're doing a special ticket giveaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Special ticket giveaway. Sorry, we're trying to work this out. Special ticket giveaway. So I think Jordan J. Porios sent us some questions, and he knows so many different facts that I haven't even found. So he gave me a list. Let me see if I can find one. All right, Jordan, you know what? Ask your favorite one.
Yes, I agree.
My favorite one.
How about that?
My favorite one. Okay, so for the free ticket, one of the questions that I put down is, okay, so what movie did Lisa audition for, and what was this probably a little too challenging, the name of the role. So just like, what was the name of the movie that Lisa auditioned for, in 2000? Hint? Can I give a hint or do I wait?
Well, let's
wait.
Do you know?
Wait, you can't. You don't get tickets.
Oh, is this a fan question?
He probably took her to the audition.
I do not know that.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Wait, the movie?
Go ahead. Don't say what the answer is, Jordan, but you can give them a hint.
Aaliyah and Beyonce auditioned for the same role, but they didn't get it either.
Queen of the Night. Not just kidding. I don't know.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. Don't say.
I might be wrong there. I think I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
Wait, let's see. Are any of the does anybody chime in and see what the answer is? I said Sam too. That's the only one I can think of.
Wait, 2000?
Nina Simone.
Yeah.
Oh, Romeo Must Die?
No. But she auditioned for that though? I didn't know.
No. I'm guessing. I'm trying to think of movies that were out then.
The Matrix.
No.
Oh,
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I know it.
What
She
is
probably would have been great in the Matrix too.
Oh wait, what is it?
Wait,
Can I-
wait.
Don't give it yet. Don't give it away.
We're just throwing out names and just guessing here.
Does it involve cats? Sorry.
Who said that? Somebody's good. Sue? Wow.
Hi, Sue.
Hey, how you doing, Jordan? Nice to see you.
You know, in the meantime, I'm about to introduce Sue, Miss Sue.
I'm really tired, and I probably look like, yeah.
Well, you're here. You know, I just want to first say thank you so much for your service. You can introduce how you know Left Eye. Oh, wait, we got an answer. Michael Benjamin said Lisa auditioned for Josie and the Pussycats.
Michael.
Right. Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah. I did know that, but Rosario Dawson got the role.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that too, Ian. Yeah.
I was.
So you're a know-it-all.
Well, I mean, I think I saw her at that time, right, Steph?
Because she was supposed to get the role opposite of one of Tyrese's girls in Baby Boy.
That's crazy.
Wait,
yes. And then
I
they
didn't
were
know
gonna
that.
give it to me, and I turned it down. And yes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was
Wait.
Taraji's. It was Taraji's part. Yeah.
Right.
And I turned it down because we were on tour and I couldn't do it. But yeah.
Wow.
Wait,
I
they
did not
wanted
know
to
that
play
either.
Taraji's role?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the name of the character? Valerie Brown?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I don't know.
I remember that though, the movie. Yeah.
That's a great question, Jay.
Thank you.
So somebody won the tickets, right?
Yes, Michael Benjamin did. I think you might know him because I think he has mutual friends with Stephanie. So you might know who this person is.
So
It's
he
a
gets to
setup.
watch the play tonight.
Hey, Michael Benjamin.
So he'll get to
Beautiful.
play.
But what I was saying, I just wanted to say, you know, in the midst of all of this, the reason why we're on Zoom and not in person giving hugs is because of this crazy pandemic. And Sue is truly on the front line. She's actually a doctor at.
Look down the usually have the list kind of spice on.
Oh, that's good. She's actually a doctor.
Nurse practitioner.
Doctor.
And what
Saving
hospital?
lives.
I work in Maryland. Let's put it that. I don't want to get in trouble. You know, you never
Okay,
know.
no,
with all
okay.
this.
She's working right now. No, but she's been on the
Yeah.
front lines, her and her husband, and we really thank you for that. And thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on. And
Thank
I guess,
you.
I give it to Tara, but tell us.
Oh, you're good. That was
I went to high school with Lisa in Girls High in Philadelphia.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've known the whole family since I was about 16 years old. Probably younger than that, right? I don't know. Whatever high school is. So long
Wow.
time. We literally grew up 10 blocks away from each other.
Wow.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah.
she know QT then. She know that name.
Lisa Love. I heard a lot of different variations. Got a lot of rap names. Always knew she was going to be a rapper.
That would have to be so cool to see her like find her passion. You know what I mean? And like try all those different things when you
Keep
when
in
you
touch.
meet her.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
When I
remember Too Sweet.
Oh,
on
and
the
Auntie
Heartbeat?
Karen went to the same high school. I have to say that.
Yes, I'm an
Girls High in the
alumnus.
house.
Yes. Remember Too Sweet and the Heartbeat?
Yeah.
Too Sweet and the Heartbeat.
I heard so many different variations.
I have pictures.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I've been hearing about Auntie Karen my whole life. I feel like.
Lisa was the first grandchild in our family. I am her father's sister and her only aunt on the dad's side. She was the first baby I ever held. I remember holding her, and Wanda said, because I'm like, and Wanda laughed and said, "It's not a carton of eggs," you know.
Aw.
So,
You know, she favors you, Auntie Karen. Every time I see pictures of you two together, it's like your smile or something.
well, I mentioned earlier, I think it was Stephanie who said, you know, are you her mom or this and that? I said, you know, oh, you must be her mother. I'm like, no, I'm only 13 years old. But I appreciate the compliment that people who think we resemble.
Yeah.
She was always very creative. Our whole family is musical, and I'm going to say this. We all studied music. My brother studied the clarinet and the piano. He taught himself how to play the guitar, the harmonica, and the saxophone.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much played anything he picked up. And her mother is very creative artistically, you know, with her hands. So Lisa could paint, draw, charcoal, airbrush. She created half the outfits. She designed most of the stuff, all the little spray painted, and she was, my first husband was also a musician. She would draw a pattern. He would say, I want a jacket like this, Commodore's jacket with the, you know, the epaulets and all. She drew it on paper, cut out the material, created her own pattern, sewed it together. It looked like it cost $1 million. So
yeah, very
sew,
talented.
write, you know, sing, dance, and create art in sculpture, anything she touched, always. She walked at about 9 months, but she was always special. We all, you know, she's always special and always a beautiful spirit.
Wow. That's awesome. I did want to mention that her brother, Ronald Lopez, did want to apologize. He did want to be here tonight, wanted to be on, but he had a family, he had an emergency he had to. So before I forget, since we have, it just crossed my mind, I wanted to make certain that we mention that. So hi, Ronald, prayerfully everything is all well with where you are, and that everything works out with your emergency that you had tonight.
Which quick note, Tara, you know, Ron just had a little baby girl like last month, and Lisa, Sue, could you even imagine?
Yeah.
Her with that little girl. Oh my God. I know she's smiling down on that baby.
Her niece.
When I found out, I was like, I had chills because
I know she's so
cute. Maya Lopez is gonna be so happy.
Oh,
I know. Can only imagine how she'd be at 50. Sure, she'd be fabulous. No doubt.
She would still look 15.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So you guys know we could talk on and on. Do we need to jump off because it's starting?
No, we're actually okay. I'm actually going to jump on this part so we could keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because we had a late start, and it's nice to see everybody. So I'm gonna have to figure it out on my end.
Yeah.
So if I go, you know why.
So did anybody here get a chance to spend any birthdays with her? I never spent a birthday with her.
What? Wait a
That's
minute,
wrong. That's wrong. I spent one birthday with her in Miami. She was down there with Dre.
So Steph, you weren't there for her 30th?
For that,
you hired me in August after her birthday.
I was about to say.
I missed it. That was the one where Prince was at the house, right?
Yes,
I heard about it.
Prince was up in there. Missy Elliott was up in there.
Somebody told me about that legendary party, and I was a couple months too late.
Yeah, it was a sleepover party. It was awesome. It was awesome.
It was a slumber party.
It was a slumber party.
Sleepover, yeah.
Stop.
Oh man.
Yeah, let me tell you that I have that story.
Yeah.
Brandy, were you there? Were you there for that?
We were on the road. No, we missed it. I'm so mad.
So Prince and Lisa are really good friends. Were really good friends.
Yeah.
Well, they are now really good friends.
Yeah.
And,
Together.
She knew how much of a fan I was of Prince, and she was telling me like Prince is coming to my party, and I was just like stop playing with me, So at the party, she was like, okay, Prince's bus is up at the gas station. Can you go, lead them into the cul-de-sac for the party? I was just like, Lisa, I'm not going anywhere. You're not sending me on no dummy meat mission. No freaking way. And she said, okay, either you're gonna go, I'm gonna send somebody else to go. I said, all right, I'll go. So I drove out of the cul-de-sac and onto the road and up to the gas station. And sure enough, there was this big old tour bus sitting at the gas station. So I flashed my lights and I'm like, no way that Prince is on that bus. And I took the bus down into the cul-de-sac. Lisa came out the house, went into the bus, and they were in there together for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And then she came bouncing out, and right behind her was Prince.
Oh my God.
Coolest guy ever, short but cool.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, I shook his hand. And
He was shorter than Lisa?
No.
Without his heels.
But he had bodyguards, but they weren't intruding. They weren't hovering over him. And he just sat there and he chilled. Dr. Sabi was there, and he had a long conversation with Dr. Sabi. And it was a really, really cool night. Really, really cool thing, because I fan since I was 13 years old, and I got a chance to meet him thanks to Lisa. It was a big to-do for me.
I've actually,
let me tell you, the one birthday I did spend with her, Tangi and I, we went to South Beach. There was something going on there, and she had started dating Andre Rison again, and him and his boys wanted to go down to South Beach. I had no desire in going down to South Beach with Andre and his boys, but that's where she wanted to be, and she wanted me and Tangi to go. So we go, and it's crazy down there. He rents this like whole top floor of this little boutique hotel right on Ocean Drive, and we go up there, and if you know Andre, he's a really strong personality, and he kind of wanted to be the one talking to everybody and host and pick the music and blah blah blah. And I didn't really know him that well, and so I was a little intimidated because I didn't want to rub him the wrong way and piss her off. But he's a strong personality to take. But I'll never forget, Lil Mo's Superwoman was my favorite song at that time. And that song came on, and I was getting ready to jam to it. And Andre was like, I don't want to listen to this shit. And he like turned it off and put something else on. And she went up to him, was like, excuse me, you're going to put that song back on. My girl is listening to that song, and you're just going to have to wait. I was like, Lisa, for some reason, that just meant the world to me, because it didn't matter to her, but she knew that it made me happy, and she wanted to make sure that played. And I don't know, little things like that just made me feel so special. But that was the only birthday I got a chance to spend with.
You know what? I do remember a birthday that we spent with Lisa. It was very, very, very early in our careers. Black hadn't come out yet, but we were shooting the ladies' night video in Florida, and it happened to be her birthday around that time. And I remember, I don't know if we were just celebrating. I don't know if it was like her birthday was coming, or it was coming up, but we were all together and we were celebrating her down in Palm Beach, I think it was, or something like that.
West Palm Beach.
Yes. Well, yeah, it was her birthday, right?
It was Ann's birthday coming up.
Ann's birthday. Okay, I knew it was somebody's birthday. It was Ann's birthday. I'm like, Ann's birthday.
We went to the
Okay.
club. Foxy Brown was performing. We went to a lot of places.
Right. I'm like, it was somebody's birthday. It had to be her birthday. No, it was a lot going on. That was a whole other story. So yes, okay, it was a birthday. It wasn't her birthday. I'm like, I know it was somebody's birthday. Okay, cool. Yep.
I remember actually, I don't know, some like last week or something, actually another fan had shared an article talking about the birthday party Ian was talking about with Prince. Now, it's like with us fans, we get things, but it's like we get more of what's thrown in our face all the time. Less of the time we'll get information like that. So now I read the article and it said that Cisco was there too, and y'all had a song contest in the male review.
No. But there was a male review.
The thong song.
It was a male review. There was a male review. I have to say that. I wasn't taking part in any of that.
Stephanie, you know anything about that?
Prince. Prince was like, okay, that's not going to be
What is that? A male review.
a stripper show.
No.
And you know what that makes me think about, right? Speaking of birthdays, remember the stripper you guys got me for my birthday?
Oh Lord.
He says, I used to always have to greet people at the door, and he says, oh, we've got this artist coming by to like try out. His name is, oh God, it was like Mr. Birthday Cake or something like that. I'm all like, excuse me, are you Mr. Cake? Like when you I think he's an artist. And we go and take everybody into the little recreational room because he was going to perform and audition for Lisa. And I remember the artist you were working with was with us at the time, the Hispanic singer. Yes, he was there. And everybody was there, and he turns on this, he's got this boom box, and I think he's getting ready to audition. He pushes play. Then it came all here, and clothes started flying off, and I was mortified. Mortified. It was the first stripper I had ever seen in my life.
What was the name of that stripper on the Real Housewives?
Bolo.
Yeah, was it him?
Bolo.
Was it him? Was that his name, Steph?
No, I don't remember Bolo. I would remember Bolo.
Yeah, you remember Merlot.
I forgot all about that end.
I did too, Steph. How did we about that?
Funny.
No,
One of the best things ever on my birthday.
That's the thing about Lisa. Lisa was, first of all, she was giving, caring, and she was always full of surprises. Also, even with the missing situation, when I was finally cued in to what she had decided to do, which I thought was genius. You know, everybody had problems or issues with it. You know what I'm saying? But her intention was to bring attention to the Mobile Awards, which we never really, here in the States, we've never really heard about that. That's the Music of Black Origins Awards. That's like the Black Soul Train or Grammys over in the UK. And by the time she was done with this whole thing, everybody was talking about the Mobile Awards. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she intended. And that's what I was trying to get everybody to understand. It's like, this is how she works. This is how she thinks. You know, and for the Mobile Awards, which nobody over here had ever heard of, except for if you were a musician who was popular over here, that was popular overseas. Now all of a sudden you're getting this international attention because of this thing that Lisa had done. So
funny.
It's true, it was everywhere.
She's forward thinker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember that. We did a lot of interviews asking, did we know where she was? Really interesting.
Let me tell you this. Sue was just saying she was forward thinking. When she wanted to do her solo album, she pitched to L.A. Reid that she wanted to have an option with her album to where people could pay $5 to get access to watching a camera follow her around 24 hours a day for 30 days. And do you know L.A. Reid says nobody will ever go for that?
I remember that.
And look at reality TV
show.
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, she was pitching
Yeah.
that before anybody was doing anything like that. And they were like, it'll never sell. Nobody wants to see what you're doing 24 hours a day for so many days in a row. And she couldn't get anybody to sign in on it, to sign off on that.
I know Suge Knight tried to sign off on it. They wouldn't let him do it.
To follow him
Suge
around?
Knight tried to buy her contract. And I remember that L.A. Reid, they wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah. But very forward thinking. She was crazy.
She did alert family, by the way. She called me up and said, Auntie Karen, I got to tell you, you're going to see something in the news, but don't be upset.
I know, she always used to say that. Yeah. Don't be upset.
They're gonna think we're missing, but don't worry, we're fine. You know, so I'm like, okay, cool.
Funny.
Yeah, I just found out a month or two ago that was a fake. I just found out. Ian just told me. And Ian might have called me during the event saying, "Have you talked to Lisa?" I'm like, I said, "For real? That whole time I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. This is we were upset and mad for real because Lisa was already kind of disappearing a little bit because of the fact that she wanted to go solo and LA didn't want to tarnish TLC name, and he knew Lisa was gonna go do Lisa or whatever. So he kept buying her out at every turn because she came to us toward the end. She came to us because she was like, "Man, you got power, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, because Outkast and what you guys are doing, I just want you to produce it." And she could, that's why I think her name was gonna be Nina. She's gonna put up under a whole other name. She did the album. I think her family got the album.
All right. Well, we're here sharing all these great memories, and I'm learning a lot from all of you that really lived your lives with, or her life with her. I think it's a good time for maybe another fan question. Since we're definitely trying to get everyone that's on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, if you go to totheleftplay.com, it's totheleftplay.com. Make sure that you go there. We're going to be streaming this wonderful play that Carice, the one and only talented Carice that has brought the life of Lisa to life. And I've seen the play. I've been there at all of the live ones, and it is just moving.
I've seen the play as well. I've seen it as well. And I heard you say that you hadn't seen it. It's really good. She did. Her voice. She sounds like Lisa. She just.
I know it's scary almost.
And when she performing it, she looks like her as well.
Yes,
so right. It makes it entertaining.
Yeah, I remember meeting your uncle, her uncle, Miss Karen.
Kyle.
Yes. And so I got to interview him, and he was just like, he felt like he was seeing Lisa at the moment at the play. So, yeah, she really transformed. So we'll do another fan question, and
can I just say something real quick, Ms. Tara?
Yes.
Let me tell you, Carice, the moment when I saw you in that camouflage jacket, it was eerie.
Yeah.
It was really, really eerie.
Weird. Yeah.
It's a very good job.
Yeah.
She did. Can't hear you.
Yes.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Carice.
Let me try it again. That was Nairobi, our costume designer. And she like
you did your homework, Carice.
And yeah, Nairobi put that together. She's our costume designer. And when you text me that Lisa never went away without having that with her, that's freaking dope.
Oh my God. I literally was stuck in that moment of the play for like 10 minutes. And I'm not sure I caught the subsequent 10 minutes of that because I was fixated on that image of you in that camouflage jacket. It took me to a place. It really did. But
that's awesome. I'm glad that worked.
Right. So you know what, I guess we could do the fan question, and then I definitely like Nairobi. I want you to speak a little bit to that because I was moved as well at the, and even though I've seen it several times, it was still like, wow, the costume, like you really hit home with that. So talk a little bit about your experience, and then we'll get a fan question in. I promise we'll get one in there real quick.
Oh, wow. So Carice came to me on the front end because Tom and I work together a lot. And it's interesting for me because our lives and our trajectories are kind of moving parallel. At the time when I met Lisa, I'm one of the founding members of God's Property, and we were signed to Be Right Records, which is a part of Interscope. So we kind of moved in separate things. So when I first got to Atlanta, I was a member of the Recording Academy, voted for the Grammys, that kind of deal. And was really heavy in like the soul scene, underground, whatever. And it's so interesting to me because a lot of people that she knew that we moved different spaces, from Dr. Sabi to just a lot of different friends. So I think the only time I ever met her was when we were in California Pizza Kitchen. For those of y'all, Lenox Mall used to have California Pizza Kitchen in the center. And you used to have these different layers and levels on it. And I remember, I remember when me and one of my I don't know I can't remember who I was with. But everybody was looking up, they would sit up in the booth. And she's like, what? She literally, because it was like after the whole bankruptcy thing and stuff was in the media, news, whatever. And everybody always had some commentary and stuff to say about her. And like she stood up in the damn booth and was like, what the hell are y'all looking at? What? And it was craziness. And I remember, and I was like, hey sis, I said, look, they don't get to control you like that. Like, no ma'am. We will never let them feel sweat, And she's like, you know what? All right. And I just kind of knew who that was. So I saw her at some event later, and she looked at me, looked at her, and I was like, okay. So when Carice called me, and she called me because Tom, the director, asked her to give me a call, and I was like, okay, what am I looking at? Because then it was a lot going on. I said,
for a day.
You. How many costume changes are we talking about? And so looking at the refining and looking at, I think the biggest part for me is to watch the beauty of the evolution of it, where it became about legacy, which is what everybody on this phone, everybody on the Zoom calls is speaking testament to just that, how great that was. For me, anytime I'm doing any shows and stuff, especially when you're doing like historical stuff, you can either go specifically to, who dressed them, what happened at that time. And I'm like, no, I don't think that that's what it's about. I think it's about just the expression of it. Especially after I knew, I was like, no, she used to make her own stuff. We make our own stuff. We do all this other kind of cool stuff. We got all this. Like, I was a performing arts high school. So of course I was in music and I could sew and I could do all these other creative things. And I believe that she was just the epitome of just that. Like, okay, one day I'm gonna make some jewelry. We're gonna put these earrings together and do and just the creativity of it, the hats, whatever, right? And so for me, it became about just that expression. The different pieces represented different people in her life. And because the show, it had to be so tight and it had to be so succinct, it was like, okay, what things represent these people from, Pac's bandana, where other people are going to see these things and remember them, and they become a visual aid to guide them through the emotional wherever that show is at the time. The military jacket came out literally to look at not only her dad, also, but how she, like her work ethic. It's like if she's in it, she's doing it, so she's moving, whatever. And so for me, it just became this thing where it just kind of felt right. And I wanted to make sure that we went through the progression of not only having something on stage that was heard at every different point, but also make sure that it did such a great job to display her creativity and to be as fluid as she was. And so for me, it was just an honor and a joy to do, and just to kind of watch the progression of where it started versus where it ended up. And so it was amazing. And so just even friends and family and people coming back, and her sister came, she's like, look, I can give you the hat. We can do this. I said, I would love the hat. But I don't think they're going to let me put that hat in this show.
On top of the wig.
We actually, yeah. So now we did get the last one.
Yeah.
Well,
She threw everything I threw it off. Use the hat.
I was like, I need this hat. So we would find creative ways to do that, from hiding, Atlanta Falcon insignia to, just the different things inside of the other places. And so for me, it was like, okay, how do we represent this visually, help who's seeing it have some kind of visual and emotional connection to it, and help Carice tell this story with just different pieces that will help her move this around, because it's so much and it's so a lot. And even Carice's whole routine was just really a lot, and so as a costume designer, it's like, okay, I have to make sure that I can minimize that, because she's doing a whole bunch and she got to carry this whole show, and we don't get the stop. We just got to keep this thing going. And and it was a lot of fun. And actually even being on the first end of writing it up for a grant's sake and stuff like that, because outside of my creative world, I am still kind of smart and I do all these wonderful business things. But so it was really fun and interesting to me to be able to say, okay, how do we strip? How do we move? How do we do that? And just being able to have iconic things that even I would like to see all these different movies, and I would look at all these different pictures, and even like family, like stuff was like where they came down. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not what it is. Because for me, visually, you can always tell when it was something that she had on that she loved. And it's a body image thing, it's a body language thing versus something that was like, this is okay, right? And it's like that as a designer. You can always tell when somebody's feeling something, and it's like, yo, I'm comfortable in my own skin. This thing becomes my skin. And so for me, I wanted to have those small pieces and those small things that became like skin until we get to the end in her time, in Honduras, when we start shedding off all that stuff that doesn't really matter. So
now, Roby, you did that and you succeeded because I know I connected with it. So I could only imagine.
I agree.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very good job.
A reviewer that spoke specifically about the shedding of the layers from throughout. Now, as an actor, it kind of sucks because it's really hot in the beginning, but definitely underneath.
Hey, you the one that wrote that like that with 5. Now I had a dress up. It's 5 different layers of stuff up underneath that one damn blue jumpsuit. Okay. So and then we got to make sure she got. And then we had to institute some towels up in there because Carice wanted to sweat and whatnot.
From the moment I get on the stage.
Yes. It's like so high. Then I think about fabrics, and I'm going to show that Carice is sweating. So it was, the professional was really lovely.
We did the festival in Cleveland right before the premiere. I had this yellow shirt, and I'll tell you, it was ugly by the first 2 minutes.
It was ridiculous.
I was like, this is not going to work.
Now, mind you, I didn't do the yellow shirt. Did I do the yellow shirt? I didn't know. That was when we first started, and I didn't know how much movement you were doing around, and it was hot. So, yeah, we had to make some adjustments along the way. And it was all interesting to make some adjustments along the way and make sure the hair stay down after you flipping and flopping and African dancing and whatnot. It was a thing.
Who was there for the Stephanie, you were there for the first stage reading that I did with the family and everything. Do you remember what happened to the hair like 2 minutes in? No, do you remember what happened?
Ooh, that thing went.
I know I did a head roll and the ponytail.
The ponytail.
Like,
you know what? I do remember that.
Oh, funny.
But it was good.
I did not do that. I did not do that. That was not me.
Wasn't you?
Had Nairobi on.
And but you played it off really well, didn't you?
She did. That's why
people thought it was part of the play. Whatever.
Yes.
See, that's because you're an actress, y'all.
True actress.
IMDb. This girl is awesome. She is the real deal.
I would say that it just makes me just from doing that play for an hour and 45 minutes, just a touch of what it was to just be Lisa, because she herself her whole life, and just it was just a lot. It was a lot, and it's been a blessing to go through it, to meet everybody through it, and hopefully it'll keep going on and turn to when we can have live shows again. We could do that again.
Right.
We have this stream starting today, and we have some other things that are in the works. We actually just started. I don't know if everybody knows. Actually, Stephanie, I created To the Left for Schools, which
I heard about that.
Bringing it into schools as a whole curriculum and everything that we're going to start bringing into schools. And the beautiful thing is that Stephanie then texted me saying that that Lisa always wanted to bring some type of program for leadership, entrepreneurship, and artistry into schools. That's exactly what To the Left for Schools is. Once again, still moving.
I think that's the beauty of it, and the reason why this project. Because first, when I first heard the script, I was like, "This is a lot. I ain't gonna be able to do that, right?" And then having conversations about it, it was the energy of Carice, it was the energy of Tom, it was the energy of like, okay, y'all know I'm with you. I wrote with you. Let's figure out how we're gonna do this, right? But right now, at this stage, we can't do it like that. But I think the beauty of it and coming out of the specifics of it, because in the beginning, it was a lot of different specifics that was happening in the script. To the essence of what they were able to come down to is what will your legacy be, and what does that look like? The beauty of that is that it ended up exactly where it was supposed to be, because everything that you all been talking about on this phone, from the memory and the stories. And memory is a really strange thing, especially when the great times are not so great times, and then being able to laugh through like the drama of, oh, this happened with missing. I can't believe this happened with, like, the beauty of those things. Like, yeah, you remember that one time, and then the world sees one thing, and then everybody that was inside of it was like, no, that's not what happened. And I think the beauty of the Where to the Left ended was just that. The ancestors always say that as long as you speak somebody's name, they're always with you. They are always present. And It is a beautiful thing, and it's an amazing thing that ever so many years after, her friends, her family, the people that loved her most, new fans, old fans, people that just kind of met you while you was wilding out, could be able to see such a dramatic and such a major impact that just one bright fire, one little light, one little shine before the world can create such a rippling effect. And I love the fact that that's exactly what this project did.
Right. Yeah, same here. So,
And
well,
I have
thanks
to
for
say
the
as well.
contribution. Yep. Okay. And there we go.
Sorry.
No,
And I have to
you're
say as well,
good.
too, as a fan, watching, I was like, okay, because I know a lot of things I've known about Lisa. I've learned things, and then I'm like, okay, whatever you watch, some things you're just gonna take away. You never knew. And I watched, and I was like, okay, I didn't know her father was that instrumental when it came down to like whenever she has a show. And she okay, she auditioned for something that she didn't get it, or she got it. He was there for her, emotional support still. And I was like, okay, I like that. And then the Tupac relationship and like just her mental in general, I was like, okay, it gives a whole new level of insight. And I'm like, I'm so glad I watched this. So I definitely recommend, even fans who've seen everything. You think you've seen everything, watch this, please, because you will get a different viewpoint of everything. It's about perspective. So I appreciate your perspective. I love it.
And to your point, Jay, that's the one thing I love and appreciate about you so much, Carice, is so many people have tried to tell Lisa's story while she was alive and afterwards. And not to be a hater, but I wasn't feeling any of it. It just didn't feel real to me. But I feel like you're actually telling the story, like the real facts story, not just
living the moments.
Yeah.
I cried through half of Carice's performance because
so it's very different.
It was like spending, I told her, it was like spending an evening with my niece, and I'm about to get teary now, but it was so real. I hear what you say about the camouflage jacket, but from the minute she walked on that stage and opened her mouth, I saw Lisa till she left that stage, and it was just amazing. Thank you again, Carice.
Very different.
To the leftplay.com. To the leftplay.com. Can we get on there tonight? Stream to the leftplay.com.
I wanted to mention one thing that Jordan, you mentioned. I'm so glad that you mentioned her relationship with her dad, because that was something that I found to be really important. And it was a challenge because, there was a challenging relationship, but I really wanted to portray that she had a really special relationship with him. So I'm glad that you saw that. Just from, I got a chance to, meet with Stephanie and Tangi and Trinae and Ronald to hear so many of the stories, and that's why it was such a blessing to see you there, Aunt Karen. That's your brother, and there's so much that's out there, but it was like he was
my brother was an amazing spiritual person. I only know him as a brother, and in growing and development, I know him as a brother. I don't know him as a husband or a father, right? I defended my brother till his dying day. There was a lot about his relationship and his family that I didn't know, but he was a loving, generous, giving soul. He would give you the shirt off of his back. Lisa was the oldest. They had a close spiritual loving connection, more so than Raina and Ronald, because Lisa was the first. So Lisa's experience with her father is a little different from the other two, but in the other previous stories, they always paint him to be the bad guy. My brother was more good than bad.
Right.
My brother was a whole lot more good than bad. But bad overshadows the good. But that love was unending. Lisa thought she communicated with Ronnie after he left.
Oh, wow.
So when she had some experiences, I don't discount when anybody thinks or believes they experience. I think I cried because I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to my brother. I know he was very spiritual, and I believe he came to me to say goodbye the night he died.
Wow.
So when Lisa thought she connected with him, after that, I can't doubt that. And I think Lisa's communicated with me since April 2002 as well. But my brother was, a decent person, a loving guy. The military promotes alcoholism. Okay, the army, whatever, the military, they all drink. My brothers got drafted into Vietnam, 2 of them. Okay, that 18 years old, Vietnam War, whatever it is, to deal with that trauma. And it doesn't, you come back home, it doesn't go away. So he also carried that trauma with him. But Ronnie and Wanda were together, you probably know, since they were 16 and 17. They got married when they were 19 and 20. So they're kids. You grow up together, you grow apart because you're still growing. And maybe one grows and the other one doesn't. But that's the part of their relationship that as a mother and a wife and all of that, I now know. I didn't know their business. I had a thing against Wanda for a minute, like, oh, how could you do this to my brother? Well, I didn't know what my brother was doing. So it's more than 2 sides. There's, stories are multifaceted. And I, through Lisa, learned to grow and develop and be able to see bigger pictures. So she still continues to inspire all of us. That's all.
Right. That's good. Good way to wrap that up. Yeah. Still inspiring, we're all still growing and learning, even in her absence.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know Carice wanted me to do another fan question. So I've got one here for the fans that are out there. Let's see.
Hey guys, before you get to that, I have to go, but I just wanted to say thank you for inviting me. It was good to see my family in here. I love you guys.
Hi,
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you,
Congratulations.
Brandy.
Yes, of course. And congratulations on tonight. I saw it. It's amazing. I cried. Thank you for doing this.
You came to the workshop of it. You came to like the first workshop of it.
I did. And it was incredible. So thank you for doing this for us and for everyone. It's beautiful. And good night, guys. I hope you have a great
weekend.
See you later.
So we'll ask this one question here, and I think this is a good question for the fans. Let's see. Okay. What is the name of the TLC song that Andre 3000 did he did a hidden feature on?
I so know that. I know.
You're the biggest fan.
It's actually part of To the Left for Schools. It's actually one tidbit that's in the To the Left for Schools program.
So what song is that? So do we have any fans that can you tell? I can't see but from here, but do we have fans on, or are we going to have the in-house fans?
So let them try to
All right, let's see if they. So what is the name of the TLC song that Andre 3000 did a hidden feature on?
Okay, Jay, don't say it, but do you know?
Oh, I know. I sent her the question.
He wrote the question.
Oh, yeah, he gave me the question. And we've got a couple good ones. All right, we're giving the fans. You see anybody answer yet, Carice?
He's checking.
He's checking. Okay, and so you're going to get a ticket to the totheleftplay.com, the streaming. You'll get a ticket if you get the right answer. Fans out there.
While we're waiting on fan answers, does anybody in this group know what song she sang on the Gap commercial?
Sue actually was there when they were recording it. I'm sad she's not here right now.
It was me. Anybody?
Oh.
I honestly don't know the name of the song, but I know it's popular amongst Gap.
So don't say it yet, because I can picture her in the commercial.
Isn't it get a little bit or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yes. I took her to that audition too.
What? Okay, so that was for the Gap.
Yes. She was so nervous about singing. She was like, they don't want me to rap it. I have to sing it. I'm not a singer. But they wanted her to not be a singer. You know what I mean? They wanted her to be her. And she did great.
I loved hearing her sing.
What's a good one on here? Okay, this may be for the group in here. You guys may know the I'm sure someone here knows that. What was Lisa's favorite song on Supernova?
Her favorite one? Oh, I think I might know.
I know.
I'm biased on
What's her
that.
father?
Come on, Mr. Burke. You know.
Which New Star. That's my answer.
What was her favorite song? No, nobody knows. Okay.
I do.
I'm biased.
I do.
What do you say,
You
Stephanie?
biased? What did you say, Stephanie?
I'm biased. I know emotionally it was A New Star Is Born, but musically it was Universal Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Is she right, Jay?
Well, that's not what she told us.
I did.
Jordan.
That's what Lisa told you.
Can I say this though? The Universal Quest is actually, ironically, my favorite song in the entire world.
In the entire world?
To be very honest, because that song spoke to me more than any other song I've ever heard, and I keep it close.
Okay. So what was her favorite song though on the album?
You want me to say it?
Yeah, this is for us. This is not for the fans. We waiting on the fans to answer.
He wrote the question. He knows the answer.
What is it?
Well, she told his fans her favorite was "Let Me Live."
Really? LISA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's dope though. I didn't know that she, I mean, our favorites change all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one day I may not feel that way about the Universal Quest. I might be on to some other song. But
it's a different vibe. Like the one with A New Star Is Born, she had a difficult time getting through it because she felt like her dad was in the booth with her, Karen. I don't know if you know this. She spoke with him throughout the night. She cried most of the night, and it was very difficult. But once she finally could get it done, it was done in like a take.
Wow.
But that's so emotionally connected. That's why I was like, it's different because emotionally connected, yeah, New Star Is Born, but musically maybe something else. She did love Let Me Live though.
Can you tell me about the Universal Quest, like how that came about? Because I heard Uncle Kyle told me that that Sade was supposed to be on that song instead.
What? I don't know about Sade. She wanted I think she wanted Madonna to do it actually.
Really?
And yes, and she could not make that happen. And I had just started listening to this artist Estero, and I suggested it to her. She had never heard of her. I gave her the CD, and the next morning she was like, I want her on this song. And within a week, she was there recording it.
Wow.
But it was she originally wanted Madonna.
Yeah, I've heard some. Wow, I didn't know that. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. I heard they was going to do a song called, or they did a song, Rapture with Blondie. Like they redid the song.
I don't even know about that.
Yeah, like Uncle Kyle said that back in when they was promoting Never Be the Same Again. What was it? She was hanging with Blondie and Madonna and Melanie C. And they decided to redo the Rapture. Like he was reciting part of the song to me. Like I cannot remember it. It was in my interview with him. I can't remember it. But he said that they did a song together. I
want to look it up now.
No one else knew this but him telling me. None of the fans heard of this. None of it. It's like, wow. Okay, I would love to hear it. And the song she did with Prince. I'm like, come on, she got all this stuff in the vault.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so you guys got any answers yet?
Do we have a win? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Answers? No answers yet.
No, okay.
Do you want me to answer?
Wait, what was the question again? I was supposed to type that in, my bad.
Andre.
You still want me to answer?
What was
the
it, Andre?
song was
what was the question again?
I mean the song. The question the question was, what is the name of the TLC song that Andre 3000 did a hidden feature on?
Actually, Rico would know that because I think he produced it. I think produced it.
Is he
Yeah.
still on? Oh, okay.
Vanish.
What is the name of the song? Ian, you don't have it yet?
No.
Can I give a hint? Can I give a hint?
Yes.
It's on Crazy Sexy Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I'm hearing it, but I can't think of what the song is.
Can't either.
I remember back in the time.
So you're gonna make me look up the list to tell you.
That'll be cheating.
Now I'm checking the answers that you gave me because I'm like, wait, that's not might not be the one I'm thinking of.
If I hear it, I'll know
Hey,
it.
there's another one, Jordan.
Uh-huh.
We're thinking of two different songs. He was on a remix
Well, he did-
on a TLC tip.
Well, yeah, he did. Outkast got their first break on. From my understanding, it was their first break.
The remix.
On What About Your Friends? The remix to
Yes,
that
that's
song.
what I was thinking you were talking about.
On Crazy Sexy Cool. That's him.
That's not what is. What's the Crazy Sexy Cool song that Andre Benjamin did a hidden feature on?
Can I? Y'all want me to say it?
Yep.
No, wait a minute. I can hear it and I can't think of the song. Yes. My husband got it. He's coming with it.
No.
Hey, Tony.
Okay.
You know the bad thing? I don't even know what the song is. I'm like, this is their song. I've never heard it before in my life.
I know.
Well, I guess I heard it because I can't even hear it.
If you heard Crazy Sexy Cool, you've heard the song.
Okay. You're gonna have to.
You all know it. We all know it.
Wasn't it Crazy Sexy?
Yeah.
Wasn't the song Crazy Sexy Cool?
No.
Everybody's on their phone like, how do you?
Ian, are you looking it up?
I was wondering how to do it. I was like, people can Google quickly.
Oh, where my glasses at? Look.
Yeah, I'm on mute just talking. I was like, no, it's one of my favorite cuts. So
no,
yeah.
I can't. Hold on.
It was Red Light Special.
No, it wasn't Red Light Special.
No, it wasn't. No.
Wait a minute.
It wasn't now. Everybody be like, kick it. Like, come on now, y'all know this business. But as it is,
he is cracking
blank. Like,
She's cracking up herself right now.
remember back in the day.
I don't remember. A couple people in here. Why? That's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable.
I'm getting chastised here for Oh!
Really? You just had to look that up?
Am I right?
What is it?
Something Wicked This Way Comes?
Boom.
Yes. Remember back in the day, we used to be like chicken, but now something this way comes wicked. Yes.
How does this song go? I can't think of it.
You didn't know that was it, Mr. Burke.
Remember back in the day,
because I called him Andre Benjamin instead of Andre 3000, so he was throwing me
We
off.
got two singers on here, Nairobi and Jordan. How does it go?
Wait, what song was it?
Something
it
Wicked
was
This Way
something
Comes.
with this way comes, right?
I'm playing for y'all.
Oh man, that was good. That was a good answer.
Oh, you're gonna play it perfect. I cannot.
We had was pink, but now when 94 it be this way, something come with it.
Killing
others for color. Facts that we wear for fashion.
Yeah.
That was it.
And you need to be shamed for not knowing that. Try to keep your head down. Shame.
Oh, Lord.
That's funny.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah, he's a real fan.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was good.
like Jordan, I wish you were here when I had to research for 2 years because I could do everything in one pocket. Like I could have just called you and asked you. I know so much about her. Like I'm always like on your site and I'm like, really? Wow, didn't know that. And I would say when I was like first researching before I met anyone, there's so much misinformation out there about her. There's actually, I don't know, there's an autobiography. I'm not even gonna give it any credit. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's for young
Yeah, I know what
adults.
you're talking about. I know what you're
And
talking about.
It seems like 2/3 of it is wrong. Like there's so much misinformation. And even Ian, like in the play, I mean, first of all, I wanted to really focus on her, and it's supposed to be about her spiritual journey to peace. But I purposely don't touch a lot on the TLC part because there was so much confusion about how it started. And that was before I got to meet everybody and hear everyone's story. But there was it's a little frustrating. So, like Jordan, I'm glad that you wrote that piece about Ian's part and everything, because even how many years later, almost 20 years later, there's still.
And the thing is that that's another reason why I started doing interviews at that point, because I was like, wow, there's a lot of miscommunication, but T-Boz and Chili, they can't cover everything because they're not here for everything. There's not everything that they witnessed and seen that they can actually answer to. So okay, if this person's been here, and if you can ask them, if they're actually they wouldn't mind answering the question, reach out and ask. You know what I'm saying? If it's really touchy, then not to ask. You know what I'm saying? We all make mistakes sometimes, but don't ask certain people certain questions. Now, but if you know that
you are really good at that, because you'll reach out in a minute.
Yeah.
Miss Bird. It's true.
I try, because I get nervous sometimes, and I'll be like, I don't want to bombard people with stuff that they haven't, dealt with in years or don't know nothing about and probably don't want to deal with. So it's like, it's kind of like, touchy to ask sometimes, especially knowing how some people that met Lisa feel about that. I've gotten wind of a lot of family members talking about, or friends talking about how they don't like to be approached about certain things because they find it either disrespectful, but not everybody finds it disrespectful, but some people do. So it gets kind of, scary for me to ask sometimes, because my mind reverts back to that. And I got one of that like 2009. And that like comes back to me sometimes. I'm like, okay, know what to ask. Make sure you're asking the right thing. Double check with yourself, check yourself, then ask.
Good.
That's true. Can I speak? Because I haven't got a chance to speak.
Yes, Monique, go ahead.
Yes. My name is Monique Williams. I was one of Lisa's closest friends. She was my sister, family. All of us was family. A lot of us, a lot of people came in later on, new, but like me, a lot of us, Tangi, Renee, Black, Je ne sais quoi, Drip Drop, Illegal. A lot of us, we were family. It's a lot of us. We was really tight knit. And I could tell many of stories, but one story I just want to reflect on, because one thing I want to say about Lisa was very spiritual. Lisa was very down to earth, unbelievably down to earth, like what a lot of people probably couldn't imagine. She was not materialistic. She was just the home girl. She didn't care if you had a bucket, she'll ride in it. She was just down to earth. She was real people. And like, I can tell this story, like to show you how down to earth and how humble she was. I remember one time we was in Lenox Mall and we were shopping, all of us, Tangi, Trinae, the whole crew. And it was just, how you see people, like you see how your peripheral, your people like, you know what I'm saying? But you're not paying attention to it. It was just like everybody talking and we are laughing because we were getting ready for a party. And next thing you know, we just hearing all these footsteps behind us. We was like, what's going on? We just looked back. It was a mob behind us. And then I looked at her. I said, girl, I be forgetting you a celebrity. And she said, Monique, me too. I said, Monique, me too. And that's to let you know how down to earth she was, because she said, me too. I forget too. She was just that humble.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you in pictures too.
She'll give the shirt off her back, giving. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I was saying, like, I remember seeing you in pictures before. I'm like, she looks very familiar. Okay, because there's a lot, there's, Trinae, Tangi, Cherie,
Sharice, her cousin, yeah.
Yes, and there's also Tab. So it's like I try to like remember everybody's names and try to teach other fans everybody's names. You know, cause I don't know, I think it's cool sometimes the other fans like still share pictures of Lisa and her friends, but I try to like let it be known who some people are and show that, you know, it's not always worth cropping people out because it gets kind of crazy sometimes, no, especially knowing y'all and then like seeing that happen. I'm like, can you not do that? Because to me, if I find it disrespectful, I was like, oh no, please don't do that. So I try to highlight the importance of the people around her so they don't feel the need to do that so much. It's like Lisa's important and people around her is important, and it's like just show everybody that same level of respect. I just try to do that. So.
Monique, I just want to include it because one thing that was the through line between everybody I spoke to was how giving she was. Like, to, and
Yeah, she was very
I would love for you to
giving.
speak to that.
She was very giving. And me, I believe in a lot of signs. I'm a very spiritual person too. And it was like, I was already friends with Je ne sais quoi and Rico Wade Wright, because Lisa used to live in apartments in Winter Hill called Chapter 21. And I used to go over, I was friends with Je ne sais quoi. I was already friends. We had mutual friends already. I met her one time at her apartment. That was in 93. We were friends yet. We've been friends till 95. And not only that, her father's birthday is the day after my birthday. Too.
August.
Yeah. Mine the 15th. His
August
the 16th.
15th.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
That
know,
makes
so
you
it's a
special.
lot of things. We just came full circle right back because I was already like in the industry, working in the industry and stuff like that. So it just like, I used to see her at like TLC and different functions and everything like that. It just came, the dots just connected. It just meant to align and we became friends. It just happened like that. It was just, things are not coincidental. They're just meant to be when people come into your life and your experiences with them. You know what I'm saying? But she was a very beautiful person, in and out. And I agree with you. It's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things. And I'm gonna be honest, it's been situations like in the past, like I would just be out and it used to be, not anymore, but like when a lot of drama and things was going on. I mean, I could be in a beauty salon or somewhere and somebody will be talking about her like a dog and didn't even know what they was talking about. And I would check them. I'm just being honest because I like, you don't know what you're talking about. People will make up things and they don't even have a clue of the truth. You know, they're just going off of media and publicity of, you know how the media does. They spin and tell the truth, a lot of lies. It's a lot of misconceptions about her life. And a lot of things, even the story with Andre and everything, it's just been a lot of misconceptions, which is unfortunate. But if people really knew who she was always loving. And she loved children like no other. She loved children.
So let me ask you guys. But because Monique brings up some good personal, attributes of her and being her best friend, childhood friend. The to the left screw line is dedicated to the left in all of us, right? So what would you fight for? What would what would your legacy be? What do you think Lisa's legacy is right now? Like, how do you feel about that today? Monique, do you feel, what are your thoughts about Lisa's legacy, or what is her legacy right now?
I just feel like her spirit lives on in all of us, whoever experienced with her. And then, it's up to us to still express. Like my biggest thing with Lisa, like what I always say is lead with compassion and humility, because that was one of the main things in her. So you have to lead by example. So I feel like, I treat people kind, I'm nice and giving, and it should be infectious. And I just believe in like doing for the community, because she loved, like I said, being intricate and doing things for the community, children and stuff like that. So I just think that all of us, by our experiences with her, they live through us. And it's up to us to demonstrate that and keep her legacy moving on.
Right.
It's our choice. So we should keep it going.
Right. It sounds like there's a huge inspiration from all of you guys that are so close to her to even continue to do that. And even, Jay being the fan club, just wanting to continue to to have her legacy live on. And that was one of the things that I took away from the To the Left play, is that I was able to feel a lot of her legacy still now. And it makes you think, what would your legacy be? Or what would you live for? Or, you know, how would you continue her legacy? Because she's just touched so many people indirectly, directly and indirectly. So yeah, I think this whole evening was like, so I'm still learning. I'm still soaking in a lot of this whole Lisa. And I thank Carice so much for even from day one having me involved in this whole, because I've learned to love her even more. Like I said, I've always been a fan. My daughter's, oh gosh, please. And it does make you want to live right. You know, there's a lot of other things in our lives, right, that makes us want to live right and do right. But as far as Lisa, her whole energy and her spirit, you feel it. For her not to have been what they say, kin to me or related, blood related, you still feel that, you know. I encourage everyone to take to definitely try to stream this To the Left play, and really, you'll get just a little taste through Carice's wonderful performance. You'll get a little taste. We never really will have real Lisa, you know, like we don't have her, but you get a little taste, and I think you learn and appreciate things about her that we didn't know, don't know. I learned a lot in just through that play. So,
you know, it's when you say that, it reminds you of, like, you'll never know all of Lisa, only she will know all of her. But it actually reminds me of Dr. Sebi, who people know him as a healer, and that he would heal people, but he would say, I didn't heal people, I taught people how to heal themselves. And
That's right.
Lisa, it's not about learn. It's great to know more about Lisa and what she did and what she didn't do. And it's my take, and I do take some dramatic liberties, because it's still a play, you know, to tell the story, but it's really about her spiritual journey. And ultimately, I want you to know more about who you are, and ask some questions about yourself from watching this woman on the stage. And you know, even now with all the stuff that's, you know, we just came off of the anniversary of the killing of George Floyd, but you know, he's still here with us. He's here more than ever. But you know, there's so much that's going on now, and you know, it kind of, you know, led to the whole Black Lives Matter being, you know, revamped, and now some people have finally joined into Black Lives Matter. But I think really important is just recognizing Black greatness. And I think that's one thing I really like about doing this show, is that it's a spotlight on Black greatness. And then we can then have kids and us realize that greatness that's inside of us too. And I think that's with all, you know, with all the goods, all the bads, all the demons, all the triumphs, she was a real person, but her spirit was just big, you know, and we all have that. And we have more time to live out here. But in the meantime, you know, it's funny because when you ask what's her legacy, I feel like it's the legacy of all of us. And I guess maybe I can give like a spoiler alert, because we go through leftisms in the play. And we go through a lot of different philosophies and stuff, but I think it's important to share that at the very end, her last leftism that she has after her passing is love. What is it that compassion is the only giving, is one of the last words that she said to Dr. Sebi. And I believe that's ultimately, with all, you know, she has how many Grammys, you know, I think it's like, I forgot, 2. And how many albums that she sold, you know, platinum 10 times, diamond, sorry, over diamond albums, whatever. But ultimately, it was just about love, you know, giving and receiving in the fullness of that. And I think that's why we're all here, because she loves so hard. And you know, I thank everyone for just sharing with me, because I wrote in my page today just to take a moment, because I never got a chance to meet her, you know, and it's funny because I feel like I have, but I've never got a chance to meet her, but I truly feel through every single person I meet that I'm meeting her, you know, and everyone, like people like Stephanie, that's my girl now, you know, and, you know, Aunt Karen is Aunt Karen, because, you know, and just shows me who she is, because these are the people that she brought around her and had around her, and everyone was just so real. And, you know, whenever I met her, like I remember meeting with Trinae, and I felt the protection of Trinae around me, you know, and I was like, this is why she loves her, you know, and, you know, and everyone was so open and sharing their stories. And and then still protecting their girl, you know? And I think that was the beautiful thing. And it's just been a pleasure. And I, once again, look forward to speaking to you more, Ian, if you will give me the pleasure, because I feel like you have so many more stories that I don't know.
Can I say this? Carice, you are amazing. You brilliant, very brilliant. And when I saw the play, sometimes it was so just unreal because your mannerisms, you have some of her.
Yeah.
When I say like it, you become her, like you channel her. It's I mean, it freaked us out when we saw it. We was like, "Did y'all see that?" Like we was freaked because you know when you know someone, you know their mannerisms, you know how they hold their head, you know how they do they smile, you know how they do their hands, you know how they body movements. It was like you were her, and it did like we was crying because it was just like, wow, she has her down pat. So you're brilliant, girl. You got it in you. She's with you.
Yes.
She's
The method acting classes show paid off, did they, Carice?
The what? What did you say?
I said the method acting classes show paid off. No, y'all, watching her do it, it was eerie. Because even when we were backstage and we're putting stuff on, putting it together, and it's so funny because she's a totally different thing. But baby, when the lights go to she backstage, it's like something clicks. It's like something clicks, and I'd be like, oh shit, okay, left out and came in the room. We got to, I mean, literally, her voice changes, her everything changes. And it's the craziest thing to watch. I mean, you know, does me proud to watch, but it's the craziest thing. And it literally, so the whole conversation about channeling, because at the end of the day, and they are, it's like her look changes. You know what I'm saying? Like we backstage, we're like, oh yeah, okay, well I need this, I need this, I need this. You know what I'm saying? And then like when you hear the house music come, I mean the house sound, this, that, and third, like she's standing back there. Because I mean one time like we were just in rehearsals and I need to fix something. And so she looked at me and I was like, oh damn, I can't talk to her right now. So like literally, it's a beautiful thing to watch. And it is definitely a spiritual experience being backstage and watching how hard she works. Because at some point, and then she overthinks a whole bunch of stuff. She's been going through stuff so much. But you can always kind of tell when spirit steps, because after that she starts coasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like 1 minute, like she'll be trying to say, dang, I can't get that part. I can't get that part. And then it's like when spirit drops down on it, she'll start coasting and she don't even recognize. But it's a beautiful thing to watch. It really, really is. It really, so for all y'all that's eerie, I've been back there watching it, and I'm telling you, it's eerie, it's real, okay? And and I got the whole incense going in the dressing room and all ambiance and whatnot. But it is a beautiful thing to watch because it's like when she slides into it, and then when the lights go out, it's back to Chris. Like, oh yeah, it's the craziest, funniest thing to watch. It truly is amazing, and you did an amazing job, sweetheart. And it was all my pleasure.
Amazing, yes,
yeah.
And I can't wait till we get back to live theater, man.
Great man.
I mean, I can't wait, but then I can't wait.
Oh, I can wait. You know what I can't wait for? Me now, trying to hire me. I don't want to go back to work too. Yes, absolutely.
You know what I can't wait for? To see this on Broadway.
Oh yeah.
All right, speak that word. Okay, speak that word. Speak that word. Okay.
I don't know if you can do as many shows as a Broadway run would be, but I'm sure you would find the perfect person to help you do that.
2 shows a day, Lordy.
Totally could see that on Broadway.
Yeah.
And I think if anybody can do it, you can.
Yes, she can. He's speaking it into the universe because I thought of that earlier. I was like, this is something that could be on Broadway.
Yep.
And we actually were just
I
featured
hope I live
Broadway
to
World.
see it because you're going to be on Broadway. Don't know how long it's going to take, but you're going to be there.
Don't make that face. What is that?
That was a great Did you guys see the feature on Broadway World? Like if you read she had a great feature in that. It's Broadway ready. Even was it DeVoe? Who was at the last show? Was it Ronnie? Which one?
Ronnie.
And Ronnie was just like, oh my God, like he was just floored. He couldn't believe it. He's like, this is going on the road. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I would be here. So I'm on the journey. I'm on a journey. Didn't know it was gonna take me years. Didn't know it would be Atlanta. All of this. So.
Don't forget about us little people, Carice, girl.
I know, right? Can I get a job?
I'll be on
I
Broadway trying to
love
get
each and every one
backstage,
of
but
you
I
all.
know her. She's like, I don't know.
I tell you, they get rich and switch.
No, it's a pleasure to
not
meet
at
all of
all,
you all.
not
I
at
got to
all.
get out of here. I have another
Yeah.
show that I need to do, like it starts at 9:30. So I love each and every one of you. Carice, it is always my utmost pleasure to support you. For everybody that's here, that's friends, family, fans, and or otherwise, thank you so much for sharing this and sharing the legacy of this amazing young woman with us. And as we say, as long as you call somebody's name, the ancestors will always be there, and they are always live and present. And so it's a pleasure to be a part of all this. So I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be good to yourselves.
Yes.
And hey, hug yourselves. It's been a great day. Everybody.
Be safe.
I've
Have
got to
safe
get ready to jump off too.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty much wrapping it up. I want to make sure that if there are any fans that were on that won, I think there was someone that won. Make sure that you
Actually
DM.
messaging me right now, so I can get.
Oh, good. Okay, so they're sending you the DM so they can get their free ticket to watch.
Put the ticket out there, so maybe we'll do something on Instagram later on.
Yeah. So, Carice, do you have any last final words you want to say to the guests and to the world, the Facebook world? Anything in particular?
Just thank you. Check out the play, totheleftplay.com. We're streaming from today through June 13th worldwide, on demand. Whenever you want to see it, you can see it. And and just, be safe, protect your happy. And I'm looking forward to live theater coming out soon again. But, in the meantime, stay home so we can get rid of this pandemic.
Amen.
Yes. All right.
Stay safe this Memorial Day weekend, especially.
Yes, absolutely.
Around you. And thank you to every single person. Thank you, Aunt Karen.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Stephanie.
Hi, Karen.
Thank you, Meek. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
Tara, for hosting. And thank you, Ian, for joining in. Much
Yes.
love to you. Thank you for sharing her spirit today. I feel so lifted. I know her spirit. I know she's sitting there just gleaming right now. And this is such a beautiful thing. So many years later, I will end with the words that stuck with me is energy never dies, it transforms.
It transforms.
And this is the transformation right here. And it's taken me to so many different places, and it's helped me deal with grief and loss and realize that there is no loss. We could talk to her tomorrow, right now, when we get off the phone and get off the Zoom and say, how was that? Was that okay?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing, man. So I thank you for this journey, bringing me into your lives. And I look forward to seeing you all again. And
all right.
Love you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody who was watching. Bye,
Watch the play, people.
Right.
What'd you say, Stephanie?
I said, yay, Carice, and go watch the play.
Yes.
Everybody.
ToTheLeftPlay.com.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Nice talking to you. I'll see you all soon.
Bye, Ian, Karen, Monique, Jay, Carice.
Bye,
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 Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Go
Nice
see the
to
play.
meet some of you. Yes. Huh?
Okay.
To the left play. Go see it. To the left.com. Bye.
Go see to the left. Go see it.
Yo, can you guys believe Lisa would be 50 today?
Yeah.
I always think of her as looking and being so young.
Yeah, I think she would have been the exact same.
Me too. I think she would not look a day over like 30 at least.
I agree. I definitely agree.
That's so
She
crazy.
barely looked 30 when she was 30.
Right. So she would finally look 30 at 50.
Right.
Yeah. I can't believe, it's almost 20 years. Just can't believe that. But I think, we all know she was very spiritual, and sometimes I think I still experience her spirit and her energy. So it's not like she's been gone for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, 19, but
Yeah.
I still feel like very close. So
Same here.
So it's funny, like you guys were talking earlier about her aging and things like that. My funny story is we were going to Cali one day, and Lisa's being Lisa, you know, has a little book bag on, and you know, her little baggy coat or whatever, baggy jacket, and we go to the to check our bags in, and I go to pull out my ID. Now, mind you, Lisa's damn near 30 at this point. And so the guy at the baggage said, oh, your daughter doesn't have to show ID. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? She's with you. And I looked at Lisa, and Lisa looked at me, and it was just, she just busted out laughing. I said, yeah, you good, right? You're all right? You know, I handed my ID, and we just walked on in. You know, that was, but that was Lisa, man. She introduced me to a lot of different things, and we both became each other's confidants. So it's a lot going on with that whole scenario. So if y'all notice, I got my brim. I'm just let y'all not see me tear up or anything like that. I know it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Doing that, you know, I had a situation like that too, where we were at a restaurant, and some guy was trying to holler at me. And when she walked up from the counter, he was like, hello there, young lady. Your mother's so beautiful. Do you think she can go out to dinner with me? I'm like, my boss. I totally get it. And she was damn near 30 at that time.
Yeah.
Still looks 15.
I was like, yo, mom, what?
Hey, I was her mother too. I'm only 13 years older than her, and I'm like,
to do it. Angie is the author of The Hate You Give. You might have heard that little book that became a little film. And, yeah, Angie, you can tell them about.
Yeah. And it's funny because in The Hate You Give, I named Star, the main character, I named her mom Lisa in honor of Lisa. And when we were filming the movie, I had them decorate Star's room with a TLC poster. And when you watch the trailer for the movie, one of the first things you see is a TLC poster in Star's room. So like, even today, I was doing an event with 1,300 kids in Vermont. They'd all read The Hate You Give. And one of them, they were like, I heard you have a story about the lady who did the rap in the song Waterfalls. Can you tell us about it? So, so all credit goes to Stephanie for that. When I was about 14 years old, I was going through a rough time. I was suicidal. And my mom homeschooled me because I was bullied so much. And I had an incident where I almost harmed myself, but I was listening to Waterfalls, and Lisa's rap really affected me. And it caused me to not take my life that day. And my mom was like, well, if the rap did that, I can only imagine what maybe talking to her would do. I don't know how, but my mom got the number to Lisa's studio, which we later found out was at her house. And she told Stephanie about me and asked if I could talk to Lisa. And Lisa got on the phone and talked to me. And she said some things to me that day that encouraged me in such a way that they're honestly the reason I'm still around. So I've made it my mission to continue that. And the funny thing is, Stephanie, the day that you gave me this, I keep it on my desk. You gave me this bandana. It was Lisa's. Yes, you said it was hers. You gave me this. And right after you gave me this, a young lady came up to me, her mom did, and she said, my daughter has been suicidal. She's been bullied a lot. And your book did something for her. It changed her perspective. It gave her some hope. If you could just talk to her for a few minutes, I know it would change her life. Only 5 minutes after you walked away and gave me this.
Oh,
and
wow.
I had a conversation with that young lady, and she said that the same way that Lisa affected me, the conversation that I had with that young lady that day affected her. And I've tried to keep in touch and make sure she's doing all right, and she is and everything. So that's how I try to continue the legacy.
That's awesome, Angie.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes. Never got to meet her in person, but I say I take that with me. And today I had kids reaching out in the Zoom chat telling me, thank you for sharing that. I've been in a bad place and I'm going to reach out to somebody for some help. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
That's
so awesome.
Thank
That
you.
is a great story.
Testimony to the strength of her spirit. Like,
isn't it something?
After, it's beautiful. I mean, if I only could still, you know.
And you know, she always was big on just planting seeds, and that small seed that she planted, Angie, she's now traveling the world, buying moms houses and cars, and you know, saving people's lives and being inspiration to all these students. And I'm just like, wow, so proud of you.
Thank you. I'll
Amazing.
try.
That was
I'm
very
trying.
touching. I'm trying to compose myself because
I know.
That was
Right.
very touching.
But that's just going to keep paying forwards. Thank you for doing that.
Oh
Yeah.
no, look, I had my event, another event in Atlanta about 2 years ago, and Raindrop came. And it was funny. A young lady came up to the mic and asked me to tell the story. And it brought it brought Raindrop to tears too. So like, it's funny. On the weirdest occasions, these kids, you know, who were not even born when TLC was big and all that, they will ask me to tell the story. And it happens at the perfect time every time. Like today it happened on her birthday. And that day it happened when Raindrop was there. So like it's a reminder for me that just keep talking about it. And it's giving me the strength. I'm not going to talk anymore, but it's giving me the strength to be open about mental health with young people and tell them, hey, it's okay to say I'm not okay. It's okay to get help. It's okay to talk to somebody about what you're going through, because that's what Lisa reminded me. So, all right, I'm done.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Everything happens for a reason. I just want to say everything happens for a reason. None of this is random or coincidental. Nope.
Right.
Meant to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, I was curious. I know we have Mr. Burke on here. Is it Ian? And I don't know who is on here that doesn't know who he is, or maybe might have something you want to share about your experiences, your time is, you know, tell everyone who, I mean, I'm not gonna tell who's, huh?
How you discovered.
Yeah, exactly. So share a little bit for some people that may or may not know.
Well, it's incredible how, you know, you managed to touch so many lives. I absolutely had no idea, especially since she almost didn't make the group.
Wow.
You know, she wasn't my first choice. You know what I'm saying? Introduced me to her. She was
Rico Wade did?
Rico Wade, yeah.
Got it.
Rico introduced.
Yeah.
And she wasn't dressed how I was envisioning the group, so immediately I just said no thanks. It was Crystal, the original C, who listened to a rap and came and, you know, convinced me to at least let her rap for me. And you know, she came in and she rapped, and she sounded awesome. She reminded me of Moni Love, who was hot back in the day. And that's when I was like, okay, cool, you know. You know, and then she said, well, I don't normally dress this way. I usually wear baggy clothes. I was like, well, then that's great. It's a perfect fit, you know. So just sitting back and listening to everyone that she's touched it's just freaking awesome. It's awesome.
As Therese said, even after, in her afterlife, it's still, you know, Angie had a moment today. Like, that's just, and I've been feeling it just on this journey with my cousin. I remember the first phone call how many years ago when you first even thought about this whole To the Left, which, by the way, To the Left tonight, we're going to stream at 8 o'clock. Yes! ToTheLeftPlay.com. Everybody has to go there, and we got to get on that tonight. It's at 8 o'clock. I can't stress that enough. But it's just amazing to, you know, I was a fan. I have a daughter who was a fan. So to see, it's just amazing.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're finally ready to go to Facebook Live. I was trying to stall because we were having some technical difficulties, but it's over.
Are we? Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
You ready? All right, so do whatever you have to do. And we'll start this, and you're going to do the share screen thing? Okay, so we're going to start. Are you doing the video? Perfect. Okay, we're going to just do this. I'm like, huh? Okay. Cool. All right. So we should be starting in 2 minutes and all that stuff, and we could get there in that. Hi, Monique.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing?
Hi.
Oh wait, let me see.
Good.
We are just getting started, so we can actually no, Jordan, have you met anyone here yet? I know you've spoken to Janae.
I met Angie. We spoke on Instagram. Of course, I know Stephanie. We've spoken many times. I've spoken to Ian. Ian doesn't know who I am, but just so y'all know, I am the I is right on Instagram and Facebook. Jordan J Aquarios. Yeah. So I was the one who made the tribute post to you, Ian, on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
The aha moment.
I did. Like, I was like, what? Where is this coming from? And I was just like, I was so overwhelmed by the post. You know what I'm saying? I was just, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I was talking to other fans.
Hey Stephanie, Ian, it's been a minute since I've seen y'all. How y'all doing? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
What were you saying, Jordan?
Oh, okay. I was saying because I was talking to the other fans and they didn't really know as much, that you contributed so much to this group and that you were around Lisa still. And I'm like, like, how are you all not knowing this? Okay, so let me post and post as much as I know and what I've seen, and I know definitely they will love and it can take away from the situation. It's like Ian Burke is very instrumental in TLC. People really need to understand this. If you do not know Ian Burke, you don't really know TLC.
Yes. Yes, and Ian, when you first, Ian hired me. So I have him to thank for all of this. He's the one that hired me. And at that time,
I didn't know that.
At that time, it was Ian and Lisa, 2 peas in a pod, Jekyll and Hyde, Barack and Michelle. I mean, it was just those two. There was never a Lisa without Ian. There was never an Ian without Lisa. So they were like a package deal to me. And I know every time, I don't even know if you know this, but every time you weren't around, any question that she had or any idea she had, she was always like, I got to call Ian. I got to talk to Ian about this. I got to see what Ian thinks about this. But you were so important to her. And it was that confidence and creativity, freedom that she got working with you that kind of empowered her to kind of grow her, branch out and grow her wings and kind of get out there on her own. And I know you were a huge part of that. And I don't know if you realize that.
No, you don't until somebody says it. You know what I'm saying? I do know that we had a mutual love and respect for each other. And she was, I want to say probably like the only one, like you, if you know my history and the things that I've done in this business, she was like the only one that came back and said, you know what, you put me on and I'm going to put you on, and that's how we began to work in the at the turn of the 2000s. And, she was awesome. Like, she was awesome. And we went everywhere together,
Jordan, thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
And Kate, you invited me to your podcast a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been some time since I've done that. It's crazy. I forgot I did it sometime.
Yeah, but it was important to have you because one thing that I researched, one thing I heard was the dedication she had to her fans, and the way her fans stuck by her. And that's, as you know, in the play, it's actually her and her fans. And that's why I have that there where she's invited her fans into the listening room to show her album to her fans because of that special relationship.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, she really did. I don't know if she actually did. I think it's something she would have done in general. She would have definitely done something like that. I really feel like she would have definitely invited fans and like have fans listen to her music and get a feel, and
Yeah.
she really wanted her fans involved in everything, and get involved with her fans. And it's like when you did the parts in the film, I meant to say this too, in the play, when you done this part where people kept calling and they're asking her for a favor and you're just taking.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that. I was like, yes, yes, yes. No one's hit that nail hard enough until you did it.
Yeah, because we've all been there too, and that was a big story for her, whereas she was such a giving person. But people are always asking, but she would just give.
Yeah.
Actually, Stephanie, because I said my assistant sat me down. Stephanie and Tangi told me about the story about like Stephanie sat her down and had her literally write down a list of all the people that she gave money to and how much it was. And like she said, it was over $1 million. But she still wanted to give, and Tangi said that there was a time she was sitting with her and had to practice with her on how to say no, because it's not it's for us, it's for ours, and was that wrong? Was that right? But it's beautiful to see how everybody's just living, now, and she's still giving, even when she's supposed to be resting. She's
literally like Stephanie said, she's been planting seeds. Before she died, and it's growing. Things are growing, and then like with fruit. Fruit grows on trees, but what is inside of the fruit? A seed. So it just keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going.
Yeah, no, that's great. I just noticed your shirt after all this time.
Oh, great, that's cool.
Shout out. Well, wonderful, wonderful commuting and breaking bread over Zoom with you.
No problem. I'm happy to do this. I'm glad to be here. It was an experience to feel that I'm like surprised, like wow, I never get invited to things like this. So I was very I was happy. I was like, wow, yes, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this.
Yeah, thank you. We played a part.